was Deborah Smoot. That was a very nice interview. Thank you, Deborah. We appreciate you calling in. We're sitting here with Craig Kavity. This, not the last song, of course, but the song prior was his big song, and the song that we love. We play here all the time. So let's say hello to Craig. Hey, Craig, what's up?
Hello, how are you?
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to have you here again. Let's talk about what's happening with the music. You've got an album getting ready to be released? Or?
Yeah, we just finished recording the whole thing, and we're just final mixing. We're gonna get some levels down, and then it's ready to go out and be printed. And
what are you gonna do? You're gonna do it yourself? You're gonna put it on iTunes, or what are you gonna?
Yeah, iTunes. We're gonna.
You know, that's we live in a miraculous age. You record it, put it on iTunes, and you can sell it.
Amazon.
I don't know what they get out of the
Sony,
deal, but you know what? Whatever, it's good.
Yeah, they get a few.
I know.
A few pennies out of it.
We have some mutual friends. Tia, who's a big friend of the show, and she does the same thing with her band.
Mm-hmm.
She's on both, on Amazon and on.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, I have it on my tablet. I have her music. Unfortunately, we don't have it in this computer. I can't play it.
I have it.
But it's nice.
Yes.
It's a nice thing. You can get your music out to a lot of people other than just your family.
We're
and
gonna
friends.
get hard copies printed too.
Are you gonna?
Yeah, definitely.
Good for you.
Probably 1,000 or so.
That's great. You put something on the air a while back about Tom Petty. What was the deal with that? He had heard somehow he got. I didn't catch the whole story.
Oh, that's Tom Petty.
Yeah, I thought it was Tom Petty who heard your music or something, or like he liked your fan page or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was Petty.
Oh yeah, it was Tom Petty.
And it was
so long ago.
And he put he liked your page.
I'm not.
Something like that.
I'm not sure if it was the real Tom Petty. I
right.
Think
Yeah, you never
Tom
know.
Tom Petty who had a page.
But that's
on
pretty
Facebook,
cool, even
and
if it's
he
not
reached
real.
out. Yeah, I don't think it was the real artist.
No, I love him. He's great.
But you never know, right?
When you never know. He listens to the radio. He's a person. He listens to the computer. You never know. That's why you say you never know who's going to hear. You know who's listening and who's going to hear.
I know this music has made it to a copy of this music has made it to Bon Jovi's desk.
Oh really?
Yeah, a friend of a friend of a
That's
friend
very
got
cool.
it to his desk and.
Was it returned, or did he give it?
I never heard a word, but I know it's sitting on there. You know, the good thing is listen.
Yeah, listen, all of a sudden you'll hear Bon Jovi sing a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah, right?
That's great.
It's a lot further than sitting on my desk at home.
Hey, why not? Absolutely. You never know.
The
problem with that is he has to. He can't have it. He can't pick it up and listen to it because if he ever comes up with something that's close, he's opening himself up for a lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
It's called unsolicited material.
Really?
But somebody will listen, and if they like it, they can pass it on. You know what I'm saying? Listen to this new artist or whatever. You know. So this still got a better chance, like I said, than it's sitting on your desk. You're a very spiritual guy. We talked about this last time. This is something I didn't find out till after you were on last time. You had broken your neck.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit? I mean,
1987.
And you jumped into the ocean?
I dove into the ocean, into a wave, and I hit something. We still don't know to this day what I hit. But I woke up paralyzed from the neck down, floating in the water, and the waves washed me in and out 5 times. And the 4th time I got washed ashore, I was laying there and I still had the air in my lungs. And a little boy with blonde hair ran up to me, and the sun was directly behind his head. And I let the air out, and as I let the air out, I gasped, and he's like, "Do you need help?" And I went, "Yeah." And he took off, and a wave washed over my head and dragged me back out, and that was it. I thought I was shark meat. And then all of a sudden I got washed ashore, and there was about 15 lifeguards there, and this little boy ran. He was about my son's age, 3, 4 years old, and he ran and got the lifeguards, and I still to this day I don't know who he is, but like I owe my life. I owe God my life through him, for sure.
The very thing that's this was a little blonde-haired boy. I remember you were told a story. You have a little blonde-haired boy,
and I believe
who
God
was born
sent him to
who
me,
was born 3 years later. Yeah. Which is kind of, that kind of sounds like, we had an
25 years later.
Yeah, to keep you going,
Quite a bit later.
Oh, it was quite a bit later?
Yeah, Robbie's going to be 4 in April.
Okay.
So you do the math, right? It's about 25 years. That
So
24
he
years.
needed to save his dad
Yeah.
before, so he could be
Yeah,
born.
believe in angels, man. You have to believe in spirituality.
It's
And
an
the number
interesting-
333, it comes up in my life all the time.
Yeah, does it really?
Yeah.
Well, what's 333? I know
It's-
666 is the devil.
Yeah, it's a spiritual number.
Is it?
Yeah, it's an angel number.
Oh, I
I never
see.
knew it, and I've always saw it all my life.
Doesn't Tia have 333 around her
She might.
someplace?
She might.
I think she
don't know,
does.
She's a
Yeah,
rock
it's
and
just
roller.
funny. We just,
She's so talented.
Oh my
It was
God,
such a
she's
gift to share a stage with
unbelievable.
her.
I have a funny story about her, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But something happened. She was on when Mitch was still in Woodbridge. We did an interview. We had her come in, and back then, you got to realize. So we're not really in a studio. We're in Mitch's kitchen right now, right? So back then, this computer was in Mitch's bedroom, which was about 10 inches from the bed, right? She comes in. Mitch's wife and daughter go out. And she comes into the, and you know, you see her, she's a little tiny girl, I mean, real pretty girl. She comes in, and back then we had, what was his name?
Weirdo.
Yeah, I forget his name now.
Phil?
But anyway, we had another guy in the studio with us, and
No.
what's that? Oh,
No.
he had a big beard, and he was, you know, very biker looking, but a little tiny guy, but real big. So she walks in, and she sits down, and we do an interview, and I told her, by the way, I have an incredible crush on you. I said, you're absolutely adorable, and I have a crush on you. And she was very sweet, and she said, that's okay, you can have a crush on me if you want, that's fine. So we entered the interview, and I entered the interview by saying to her, last thing before you go, I said, how do you feel about older men? And she like turned all kinds of colors. Anyway, that was the end. So it was a really good interview. I talked to her for about a half hour. And then about 2 weeks later, she posted something on the air. Every once in a while, on Facebook, she posted a video of her singing a song. Somebody else's music or whatever, or her singing. And I don't know whose song it was, but it was absolutely beautiful. You know her voice, it's
It's
amazing.
unbelievable.
And she sang this voice, and she sat there, you know, she's very waifish and small, and she sat there like just an iPhone watching, and she put a thing on there, and she sang this song, like hugging her knee, and it was a real like kind of a torch song. And then when it came to the hook of the song, it was something about love and love you or something, and she looked at the camera and she delivered the line, and I got like a, you know, when the hair stand up on your arm.
Yeah.
It was so great. So I wrote to her right away without thinking. I wrote to her, that was great, you're amazing, forget about the crush, I flat out want to hump your leg now.
Oh, God.
Which I thought was funny. But the problem with social media is she read it like, I want to hump your leg. She didn't read it with the jokey way I meant it. So she got real upset with me. So I had to, and I didn't even realize Mitch's wife pointed it out. She said, I can't believe you said that. So I didn't mean anything by it. I just meant like, now I went from having a crush on you, and I'm in love with you now. You're so great, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's a doll, and we've since come to the terms she's okay. But I just came down to see her and see you guys at that concert.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. And
It
an
was a lot
honor
of
to
fun.
share a stage with her.
It's a fundraising.
She's a
She's
true
amazing.
musician.
Her
She's on
and
point.
what's Pocket Phil? What's his name? Oh gosh, it's terrible.
Greg Sherman.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely.
Greg Sherman.
He's been on.
Tia Brocker.
Tia Blocker. Yeah.
Right?
It was a great
Insanity
show.
and Pocketville.
Yeah, it was a
Let's
great show.
Throw a plug in for them.
Very, very,
Craig Revolution Breeze, right?
very good. Yeah, Craig Revolution.
And
Briggs.
what's
So
your
now
band?
We got the fan Expressway.
Expressway. So
Yeah.
we
So we're having a nice
musicians
little
in
musical family going here.
Yeah, it's a gift. It's a gift
Absolutely.
to be able to share the
Every
joy of
time I
music.
go out and play, it's like I feel great
Love
for
it.
days. You know, I just feel pumped up and excited to be able to perform, and you feel the same way. I mean, it's you can tell, you know, and it is a spiritual thing.
When I just sit with my son and play the music and he sings it and
That's great.
and he says, Dad, put this on, put that on, put the song you wrote on. Did you write this? And it's so and
It's
he helps
wonderful,
me
yeah.
write it. He helps me pick the songs to bring into the studio, and it's such a gift.
Right, absolutely. Well, you're passing it on to him because I
And-
see him
and
all the
he's-
time, playing the piano or playing the guitar, or you know.
I have a CD here with the newer tracks and stuff. They're not released yet. You know, they're all finished, and I don't want to release them till the album comes out. But I'm sure you could play a couple of them. And
Well, just
let
let us
the
know
people listen.
when the album's done and when it comes out.
Soon.
Yeah,
I
I know
want
it
it done.
seems like
I want it
forever.
done yesterday. I just got the T-shirts are being printed. I'm having T-shirts.
Oh, cool.
printed
Good
up.
for you.
Yeah, you know, it was a
I did
obligation with Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I made to people, so I made a few extra for the family.
back in
My
the
son, my
'70s.
granddaughter,
Back in the
my
'70s, I
beautiful
did
fiance Susan.
I did a record in the studio in the '70s, and it took 26 hours from the minute we entered the studio till the time it was mixed. Was a total of 26 hours.
Yeah.
That's a long time for one song, and a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
26 hours.
I was just watching, I don't know if you've seen it yet, there's a documentary that's out about Capitol Records in the 60s, and there was a band, that was the house band.
Mm-hmm.
They could record 2 or 3 original songs in an hour. They come in and say, oh, here's the chord changes, and they would come up with something, and I'm talking about the Beach Boys, they just, because the bands themselves would come in, and it would take 10 hours to get a song done. Because they didn't know how to work in a studio, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the right people, and as a matter of fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You have your band is actually part studio musicians.
Yeah, well,
It's all studio musicians,
stuff.
and then you.
Yeah, I write it
and you bring it in and
bring it
have
in there.
recorded.
We co-write together, and I come in with the ideas and the foundations of the songs, and I work with Anthony Kryzan, and it's like magic. It truly is.
I saw you might be playing somewhere. There was a concert or something. You were hoping to get in or something.
It's Recovery for Rockers for Recovery.
Oh, right. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Rockers for Recovery. Rockers in Recovery. That's it. They're
That's
supposed to be coming up and doing a benefit in Jersey.
really.
In May.
Who is it?
I
Who is coming up?
It's the whole outfit. You could Google it, and
there's a lot of
so
people.
many different people with.
Who would have thought so many people, so many talented people would have problems like that? But they do.
But it's a gift. It's a gift that they come up and they do it for the benefit
Wonderful.
to help people.
Look at Clapton. He does his Crosswords concert every couple of years, and he raises enough money to keep the Crosswords going in. Where's that? In the Bahamas, I think.
Montego or something.
Oh yeah, someplace like that.
Yeah.
Some island. Yeah, he's got his recovery place.
A lady just reached out. She sang harmonies with Anthony on the last song I recorded called "Past the Moon." It's a song that I wrote for my fiancée Susan, and she came in and she played with us at the Miracle Jam, and she came into the studio and she recorded with us, and then she reached out to me for a fundraiser for a girl who her parents need a handicapped van for her because she's suffering from something. So they're gonna have a fundraiser in South Plainfield to raise money to help this family.
That's cool.
It's supposed to be in May. Yeah,
Well, let me know about that.
There's
I'll see if
always
my
some
band-
other. Yeah,
my
well,
band can come up
I already
and
sent her the information.
do an hour. Yeah,
for
absolutely.
your band.
Easily
So,
come up
like,
and do an hour.
You know,
As long as we
Anthony
go
said
on
he'd
early.
only come, and you never know who's going to be there. And something like that happens, and
Yeah, it's great to be able to use the talent to help some other people, and I always liked doing that. Even when I was a kid, I'd love to take a benefit, like 1 or 2 benefits a year, you know, for whatever cause. Let the other people worry about the cause. I just
it's
be
coming
happy
from
to do it.
coming from the heart, and the money goes to the right place, and
Right.
you know.
Well, like you said, the concert we just saw was a benefit. So you know, where we saw you and Tia.
Yeah, that was a fundraiser and raised
was
a
a
lot of money
fundraiser, and
for a good cause.
Well, when I walked in, it was a minimal charge to get in, and she said, "Okay, you want to eat? Another success, no problem, $6. You want to drink?" She says, "You want to make it an even 20?" I said, "Of course. What am I doing?
There you go.
This is a good cause.
Yeah,
I mean, you
that's
can't
right.
get a better cause. Absolutely. You know, that's what it's about.
And it works. It works.
You got to put some back too. It's always good to put some back. You got to be grateful for what you've got and give some back. It's
If I
always
was
a good
doing
thing.
this for money, it would have been done a long time ago. You know what they say? Musicians go to a gig with $5,000 worth of equipment for a $50 gig.
Right, exactly.
So
It's so funny because we're talking about that. After putting my old band back together, which has only been a couple of years now, but after putting them together, we go out and we find out that the places to play now are paying less than what they played in the 70s. And I know the money was worth a lot more in the 70s.
Yeah, it sure was.
But they're playing at, you know, I was making $100 in the 70s and 80s a night, and they want to pay me now the same thing, $100 or less. In many cases, a lot less, and you just go, what happened to the respect and the, you know, all these people but people just don't go out to go see live music anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah.
DJs.
Yeah, you sit at
put us
home
all
with
out of
the
business.
computer and
Exactly.
iTunes and that's
Well,
why
right now too, pretty much anybody can be a rock star. You get all the equipment. You can sit at your computer. You can record.
Yeah,
And
I have
you
a
know,
home studio.
yeah, I have a home studio too.
Yeah,
I have
about
an
37
8-track.
tracks.
Oh, you have
yeah.
37 tracks.
Yeah, it's
wow.
quite a few. Yeah,
But you don't get
Come on.
that quality
oh yeah,
that you
nothing,
get in the studio.
nothing like working with Pro Tools in a professional studio.
Yeah.
Like
That,
when
that's
I work with Anthony, it's amazing.
I like now. That's all. That recording we listened to. That's all digital, right?
That's a little bit. Yeah, it's digital. A little bit of good goes.
I'm an
a long
analog
way.
guy.
Yeah.
I like the sound of the old sounds.
Yeah,
You know?
he has one of the machines, but he just doesn't use it anymore. It's just
No, it's
you know,
takes too much
a
time.
lot of
It's
people just don't
noisy.
use it. Yeah,
I know.
but he has one.
I like
It's
the old
beautiful.
plate reverb in the basement. I like that. We used to have in the
That's what I
studios.
like. I like old fashioned rock and roll, man. 70s rock and roll. There's a version on this album here. It's a song, one of the songs we wrote, and you talked about time. This song alone took about 30 hours to record.
Wow.
It's called Revelation, and that song has some beautiful 70s sound to it. Which it's awesome, man.
Well, I love the
can't
sound.
wait to
The guitar
release it.
player, great sound.
Yeah.
Vocalist,
This is hot. This
Great
is like
sound.
a bluesy, hot tune, man.
good man.
It's
Blues
called-
never goes out of
It's a
style.
revelation, and but it took time, and it took but the quality of the music is just for when I sit and I listen to it, and I sit with my family and I sit with friends and we listen to it. It's just such
And
a joy.
that's the new on the new record.
Yeah, it'll be released with the album.
Wow, excellent.
Yeah, we got that coming out. Past the Moon, the Love Is Giving. There's a couple versions of Love Is Giving. It's just a beautiful gift.
Well, really nice to have you in. I mean, it's always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Always a pleasure to get together.
It's an honor and a privilege to
It's
be
great.
here. To be
I
here
mean,
with you.
we're all on the same level.
I
So
listen
one of
to
us
your
is going to
band.
break out.
Your band's tough. I mean, not like hot. It's hot tough. You know what I
We've
mean?
been playing together
It's-
a while, and it's just we love it. You know, it's that thing, that love, and that if you put your
Yeah,
passion
man.
out there.
It's tight. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, can you tell the people out there what club you guys are going to be at during the summertime?
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not quite sure yet. I don't have any definite gigs, but when they come up, I'll let
Let us
everybody
know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll let everybody know.
Let
We'll
us
announce
know.
it, and you got to come up. We play a place in Middletown.
That's it. That's
Geez, you know what? We played there 3 times, and I can't remember the name of the place. But we play outside, and it's really cool because it costs $5 to get in, but you get hamburgers, hot dogs, salads. So it's like that's what you pay for.
$5 is nothing.
$5 is nothing.
Go to PNC
So you come in and you
and
sit
it costs you
outside on a beautiful
fortune for a
night.
concert.
Yeah, you sit outside on a beautiful
Yeah.
night, listen to a show, and you know it's really
We got
great.
to get you over here at Wynwood Beach.
Wynwood Beach. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Wynwood Beach over in Brick. It's a beautiful place for concerts.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have a nice stage there, and it's in a park.
I'll
It's
look
right
into
on.
that,
It's right
for
on the
sure.
river.
I love to do
it's
stuff like
gorgeous,
that.
and they're always looking for acts.
I love to do
They,
stuff like that.
they have a band there once a week.
Anyway, we're going to get back to the music, and I appreciate you coming in once again. And anytime you want to come in, when you get to know when the
Thank
record
you.
comes out, you want to come in and talk about it, please.
Got it.
Just come in. Craig, from Craig Revolution Breeze, Craig Kavity.
Thank you for having me. Peace, people. Remember, love one another out there.
good. Have you heard about this?
Good job, man. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. There's a